From the LiveX studios in New York City, Cheesehead TV brings you two guys who like to think they know something about football.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Packer Transplants Live. I am Aaron Nagler, and I am joined, as always, by my co-founder here at Cheesehead TV, Mr. Corey Banke. I'm coming to you live from the LiveX studio in Midtown Manhattan. Corey joins us live from Green Bay, Wisconsin, across the street from Lambeau Field, and we are ready to talk some Packers. What do we have on tap today, Corey?
Today, we'll bask in the glow of yet another 13-3 regular season Packers campaign. But right now, it's time for the good, the bad, and the ugly. We got the good. We got
Aaron Charles Rodgers.
We got the bad. We got
the MVS drop.
We got the ugly. We got
Tavon Austin's fumble. Buddy, the game is probably over if you don't fumble it there. Let's go. How you doing, Corey Banke? How is your
I would like to file a formal protest with the scriptwriter of this show.
Sir,
I do not believe that the MVS drop deserved to be in the bad. I'm just going to say that. I'm going to personally give the bad to the Kevin King drop.
Okay, that's fair enough.
So
your objection is duly noted. We have placed it in the record. It is there for all time. Other than
excellent.
Your quibble with the good, bad, and the ugly. How are you? How was the trip back to Green Bay? How is Green Bay treating you?
Man, I missed it. I'm just gonna be straight up honest with you guys. I missed it terribly. It's beautiful. This morning, I woke up at 6:30 a.m. because I had a radio hit. I was pulling an Aaron Nagler and doing a little Wisconsin radio, and I look out my window and I was like, oh my God, it's beautiful. It's Mordor. It is Mordor for the NFC. And I was like, man, it was so ominous. Like even today, like in the middle of the day, there was snow and like it was so ominous. Like the Lambeau's just got this ominous feel today. I'm just like, I'm cold and I'm coming to get you.
Well, I love you put up that picture on Twitter, and I have to give a shout out to whoever it was who said, have you thought about putting the electric wire in the ground?
Yeah, you mean the power lines for the power company?
I think whoever it was who tweeted that, I do think they're in another country, so I think maybe there's something like a difference of...
They don't understand
I don't know, yeah.
how it works.
But it's like, it was such a great tweet, and it was such a great picture, and Lambeau looked so foreboding, and it was like, yes, bring all those motherfuckers to Lambeau. And someone's like, excuse me, would you like to move that? Like, come on, get with the program. You know who liked that tweet? Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb knows what's up. He knows how intimidating
I didn't see that.
Lambeau Field can
That's
be.
Cool.
Gotta love it.
I was just excited when Andrew Brandt quote tweeted me.
He quote tweeted it, right?
What?
You're getting a little play there. A little play there from the old Twitter consigliere, if you will. All right, should we get on script? Let's do some Packers news. Packers news today, ladies and gentlemen. Corey, I don't know if you heard. Breaking news. The Packers clinched the number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs. I don't know if you were aware. I don't know if you've been busy guy. I know there's been a lot going on, but the Packers are the number 1 seed. And, there's only one of those. There's only one seed. There's only one bye. The Green Bay Packers have done it. They've wrapped it up. They only have to play 2 more games, and then they're in the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers has been talking for a long time about the need to get one of these NFC Championship games in Lambeau Field. And now, of course, the one year where there are probably not going to be any fans, Packers are a game away from a home NFC Championship game. Kind of bittersweet. But I'll take it.
Bittersweet.
I'll take it.
Bittersweet for sure.
The other big piece of news, of course, this broke yesterday, broken by Tom Silverstein. I can't imagine who his source was. But Leroy Butler, a finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I got to say, congrats to Leroy, 2nd year in a row.
Yes.
It is patently absurd. We have talked about it on this program many times. It is patently absurd that he is not in already. It's downright laughable that we have to have this conversation year after year after year. Hopefully, I know last year was somewhat kind of not upsetting, but like to see Atwater go in before Butler, I wasn't a fan of it. I know you weren't a fan of it. It's patently absurd on its face. I encourage any stragglers out there who are thinking, oh, well, I don't really know if Butler's a Hall of Famer or not, to check out the video that we did last time we came down on this subject. It is up on our YouTube page. Why Leroy Butler deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Like I said, should have been in a long time ago. But congratulations to him. Very excited. We'll find out later this month whether he gets in or not. Hopefully. We don't want to take this too many times of him having to be a finalist
Hopefully.
and not get that knock on the door. A little depressing.
Well, and Charles Woodson. Charles Woodson a finalist. We don't
He
have
is,
that in the
but
news.
you know,
That's
he's a
kind of
first
news.
ballot guy. We always knew that was going to happen. Like, it's not news. Like, that was always going to happen.
I mean, like we were saying on the Patreon happy hour yesterday, to me, it's like they both are completely separate human beings, as we all know.
Right.
Okay. They both have nothing to do with each other. They were in different eras. Okay. So let that be known. However, and Charles Woodson 1,000,000% deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. They both do. But to me, it would be a little bit sad for me personally if Charles gets in and Leroy doesn't get in.
I hear you.
That's just a personal thing.
I know.
I just hope the Hall.
hear you.
They just need to make it happen because that '96 team does not get a lot of love, and that whole '90s team does not get the love that it deserves.
It's great.
in
Of
general.
all the teams that dominated throughout the '90s, whether the Bills or the Cowboys or the Niners, all those teams have more Hall of Famers in them than the '96 Packers team, which is kind of nuts to me.
Yep.
Like, I understand Favre and Reggie were gods among men, but none of that happens without Leroy on the defensive side of the ball. He was that good.
Yep.
And I think a lot of the young cats who follow us these days don't really appreciate how good Leroy Butler was and how he opened everything up for most, if not all, the safeties who came after him as far as his position versatility. Don't ever forget, he started as a corner. Hell, you want to go way back. Kid couldn't even walk. They didn't think he could ever walk when he was little. Not only did he walk, he ended up being a Super Bowl champion, and he should be a Pro Football Hall of Famer. Oh, I like it. People are talking about how this is going to be outdated in a month. I mean, get it now. Collector's items available in the Cheesehead TV shop. It's going to be a collector's item, baby. That's why I wore it.
Also, Green Bay Tropical. We made Green Bay Tropical for days like today.
For days like today. It's gorgeous out.
It's Green Bay
Definitely
tropical weather. So
gorgeous out. All right,
I got a plan. I got a plan in 2 weeks for Weather Report too, Nagler. I haven't even told you about this.
You have
but
a plan?
I got a plan. I got a plan for
wait,
Weather Report.
Sir, this is Cheesehead TV. We don't plan. Come on.
We're gonna try to have an ISO camera for Weather Report so people can really feel the weather in Green Bay. It's gonna be good.
You're throwing me for a loop here. What plans? I don't understand what's going on.
I know.
All right. Well, hey, let's get back on script. Let's talk about the offense, shall we? Because there is a lot to talk about. The Packers, I mean, okay, you can go anywhere on the internet and read about how awesome this offense is, right? I mean, all the records they're breaking, the efficiency stuff, the points, their job in the red zone, third down conversions, all of it's amazing. It is interesting, and especially with the years that Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams have had, it just feels like, and then after you want to talk about those two, then you talk about Aaron Jones and blah, blah. Like, it just feels like Robert Tonyan isn't getting near the love he deserves. And I understand there's only so much to go around as far as oxygen in the blogosphere, but this cat literally just tied Paul Kaufman's record for most touchdown receptions for a Packers tight end in a single season with 11. And as I pointed out on Twitter, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't underthrow him twice in a couple other games, he probably breaks that record outright. But, and not just that, his overall level of play has been outstanding. No one's ever going to, maybe confuse him with Big Dog in the blocking department, but his blocking has improved greatly. His route running has really improved. His feel for defenses as far as reading them off the line of scrimmage and knowing what kind of zone he's going to be presented with and where to sit down in that zone, or if he's got man, how to set a guy up. It has really come on. And on top of all of that, he takes no shit from any defensive player, and I love that. So I just needed to give the guy a shout out because it really feels like he's a bit underappreciated considering his level of play this year.
I mean, he's definitely not underappreciated at Cheesehead TV. We literally named Packerman after him.
That's true.
Packerman has a new name. For those of you that don't know, Packerman has a new name. His name Little ton.
Little ton.
Little ton.
Little ton.
Little ton.
Got a little
So,
ton.
you know, we appreciate us some Robert Tunyon.
Some little ton.
Up in this piece.
No doubt about it. All right, next up on the offensive side of the ball, lots of hand-wringing last week, lots of consternation late in the week because of the injury to David Bakhtiari. And the Packers came out with, I think, what most people expected them to do at the tackle spot, moving Billy Turner over there. And I got to say, Turner and Wagner, they were up to the task. And it wasn't always pretty. Sometimes they were definitely helped out by Aaron Rodgers, the offensive design, the quick release, getting the ball out of his hand, no doubt about it. But for the most part, they held up pretty darn well. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was a flawless performance by any stretch of the imagination, but they held up pretty darn well. And if they can just give the Packers that for the next 3 games, they're coming home with Lombardi. And that's fine by me.
I mean, there's one very, very important thing that has to stay in order for that to happen. And it goes back to what we've kind of come around to, and I know I'm the biggest fanboy of this, but it's one Corey Linsley being the anchor of that offensive line.
Oh, yeah.
So it's one thing when Corey Linsley comes out, Elton Jenkins comes in, you still got Bakhtiari on the left tackle side, okay?
Right.
It's another thing if you pull Linsley out of this now, you got a house of cards.
The domino effect, right?
So it's not good. So, you know, I think really this is going to be the time. I actually said this on the I said this on the show this morning, Nagler. You'd be proud of me. I think this is going to be the
Repping
time
the brand.
where
I like it.
Well, no, I just think that this is going to be the time where you really are going to appreciate Corey Linsley. I wonder if I know this is a little bit talking about the sausage being made, but in the cap area and everything else, I mean, you need Linsley for this. Like you keep Linsley, you keep all the pieces together, and you still can mix and match, and you have Elton Jenkins who can move around. I know everybody says, "Oh, they're just grooming Elton Jenkins for center," but it's like,
I'm not so sure
that's
the truth.
Get out of this.
I'm not so sure that's the truth. But I do think, they drafted 3 guys day 3 in the last draft in the, with the idea of Corey Linsley moving on being an eventuality. I will say, though, you never really know what Russ Ball and Brian Gutekunst are cooking up. I didn't think they'd get Bakhtiari done, and they got that done. So I guess anything's possible. I do think it's going to be awfully difficult to start paying everybody what they're worth. I mean, you start paying Linsley, all of a sudden you turn around next year and Devontae's up, and oh boy, now you're handing out some monster contracts, one after the other.
If they don't pay Devontae,
that's my point.
Man,
you gotta at some point
you gotta pay Devontae.
You can't pay everybody. Anyway, why did we go down this road? We're talking about the offense, Banky. We'll get to the offseason later.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about the offensive line.
I know.
Hello.
I feel you. No, you're right. It's part of the game.
I do think Turner should get a little bit – I do agree Turner should get some love because he kind of doesn't get as much love in the like a lot of people, like even this morning, they were kind of like bitching about Turner. And I'm like, Turner did pretty well.
Dude.
Wagner held up. There were problems.
I think people are just predisposed to A, bag on Turner because of stuff they've seen in the past. But B, it's like, yes, was he beat on occasion in that game on Sunday? Yeah. Those are some really good pass rushers he was going against. And in some scenarios, yes, they are going to win. They are paid as well. Is he David Bakhtiari? No. Is he serviceable and can they win with him? Absolutely. And look, I've said it a couple times on Daily. I've said it a couple times on this show. I was, right out in front of everybody saying, why in the world is Brian Gutekunst making his very first phone call, literally, and this is true, Rob Demoski reported this, the second the legal tampering period opened up a couple years ago when Turner became a free agent, that was literally their first call. And they paid him money on that first day. And I was like, who's lining up to call this guy? Why are we throwing all this money at him? And I understood, position versatility, but I thought they overpaid, and I was dead wrong. He has absolutely answered the call at tackle. He has saved their bacon on more than one occasion. He has absolutely earned that contract, without question. I don't think there's any question there. And finally,
I don't either.
Final offensive thing I want to talk about is the play clock. The play clock, Banky, the play clock. As you know, Lil Ton has received more than one thrashing at the hands of myself because Aaron and or Coach LaFleur can't get their shit together and get the ball off, and they have to take the penalty. I think the worst offense is always when it comes out of a timeout. Like that's when I really lose my mind.
Yeah.
But I did find this little bit from Aaron yesterday on the Pat McAfee show a bit interesting. Is like he seems completely oblivious, and I don't know why I'm surprised because he said this little anecdote about how LaFleur is always on the sideline.
I told you this in week 3 that I don't think
come on, let's go.
And, about that.
And Tim Boyle is literally like the cool down guy going, no, he's got it. Don't worry, don't call the timeout. I love this idea. I love this image. But so then Aaron was like, sounded incredulous about it. Like, let's play this clip, Al, because I thought this was great.
If you're a fan of the Packers, you got to be like, oh my god, and then you get past it. You're like, now Aaron's going to figure it out. He'll figure it out.
You really feel like yourself and a bunch of the Packer Nation out there are more like LaFleur, like, oh my god, is he going to get it off? Timeout.
Yes, Aaron, that's exactly what we're like. That the whole world. Yes.
I got faith. I'm the faith guy. I mean, what happens when TBLS actually says don't call the timeout and then like they get a penalty? Is like it on TBLS or is it?
I know, right? Who's to blame there?
It's like QB1's like, oh yeah, TBLS, he's my buffer. Like,
he totally
is. It's his fault.
It's his fault.
He should have told you.
He should have told you to take the timeout. Exactly. Rodgers has got it set up beautifully. He never has to worry about it.
Yeah, it's never going to be his fault. So why would you care?
But let me just address to camera because I know Aaron is watching. He's a big fan of CheeseheadTV and Packer Transplants, even though he always refuses to come on the show. Aaron, yes, that's exactly what we're like. Everybody. Corey tries to downplay it, but him too. All right. I just had to get that out there. Because that's what it's like. Should we talk about the defense?
I separate the two things. So I think you do too, where it's like you've got the bucket where you go down to 0, right? But then you have this other bucket we've talked about of like, if we wanted to have a hurry up offense, is that possible? Do we have that capability? And no one knows the answer to that question. So, I know they're separate, but I kind of feel like they kind of go hand in hand because, like, do we have the ability to go quick? Do we have the ability? He was even saying in that whole conversation where he's like, by the time you're kind of out of the huddle, you're at 20 seconds. But he was saying 20 seconds, like, that's not a lot of time. Then he's got to take the 10 seconds to, like, see the thing. And now I think because of COVID, I think he's found a secret weapon. And that secret weapon is the lack of crowd noise. Okay.
Oh, on the away games, no doubt.
What I got from him so much was him being able to hear people. You kind of heard a little bit about it this season, but him having that like sixth sense of like what's happening because you can hear everything and you digest all of the sounds of the game. It's incredible. I wonder what the takeaways are going to be after this because like this will be the only time probably that they play with these kind of conditions. So it's really fascinating to see some of the things that come out of this.
Well, it's funny because we were just talking about Turner and Wagner. That's a big boon to them as well. Because now they're going to be at home for the rest of the year, but on the road in Chicago in that environment under normal circumstances with Khalil Mack across from you on 3rd and long, that's a nightmare, yo. And that was completely gone for this game on Sunday. And you talk to any guy who plays that position on the road, having to turn your head in against a guy like Mack, terror. But the idea that there's no, noise and you can be head up and you don't have to look in and you can get your pass set off. I will say, it was so funny watching the coaches tape. Turner got away with so many false starts. It was great. Like, he jumped early, I want to say at least 10 times. At least 10 times.
Wow.
I mean, but I'm not complaining.
Well, they got away with they got away with a big
they got away with a
start.
huge one on 4th down. That's why I'm not complaining. But it was noticeable. It was kind of fun. It was kind of funny. If I was a Bears fan, I'd be like,
that's funny.
What is this? It was great. All right, let's talk about the defense because, hey, they play too, and we love them. And, Corey, no one loves this defense more than you.
Woo! Ninth overall, baby. Gotta love it.
Hey.
Can you believe it?
They achieved top 10. They achieved top 10.
For the first time in a decade.
Remember way back this summer?
9 years.
The mantra was just get if they can just have a top 10 defense, they've got a chance. Well, guess what? They got a top 10 defense. And big,
I also said top 15, but let's split
true.
hairs. But I'm just saying
that's true.
you can win a Super Bowl with the top 15.
I will say this: the most we're talking underappreciated guys, because look, like I said, there's like the headlines about Jair, and we all know that what Z does, what Gary's been doing. I want to give Adrian Amos some more love, and I know we talked about him earlier this year. I just cannot emphasize enough how underappreciated this guy is. I know he didn't make a Pro Bowl. He probably won't be named an All-Pro outright, although I do know he was named to PFF's All-Pro team, but the history of the league is littered with guys who were named to PFF's All-Pro team and didn't make All-Pro. He's so good. He's so much better than I expected him to be. Like, when they signed him, I thought, okay, great, stable aspect part of their defense. I didn't expect playmaking ability. I didn't expect his explosiveness, his kind of multifaceted ability on the back end of this defense as far as being able to play him anywhere. Like, they've used him up towards the line of scrimmage in kind of the rover role. They've used him as a free safety at times. He's been everywhere, and he's absolutely delivered, especially in this last month of the season. But if you go back to that second Vikings game, which was probably a low point for this defense, that and the Colts game, but he was the one guy who came to play. He was the one guy, and he has been the one guy outside of Jair who has been absolutely rock solid, playing high-level football week in and week out all season long. Now it's the end of the year. Give this guy his due, because, like I said, I expected solid. I didn't expect spectacular, and that's what he's been giving him, no doubt.
Well, and you got to imagine that he makes Darnell Savage a better player. Just
no question.
In general.
Absolutely.
And that's what's really exciting, is that you have a guy like that who's making the guy that you drafted like that much better. Exactly. You see Savage starting to get more interceptions as the season goes on. That's not a fluke. I don't think that's fluky now that you've seen this happen consistently in the last 2 weeks.
Very much agree. Well, and it helps the marriage of the pass rush. Has started to kind of like be more consistent. That always helps. And I think guys are just playing with more confidence. You see the number of times that in the last 2 or 3 games where the defensive backs see the quarterback and they know there's a timing mechanism here now, because the rush does kind of coalesce and get around the court. The quarterback rises to fire. You see guys like just plant their back foot and fire towards whoever the intended receiver is. You saw the one with Kevin King nearly intercepted. You saw Sullivan, Amos, a bunch of pass breakups. These guys are playing with confidence and without hesitation, and that's exactly what you need back there. So, yeah, shout out to Amos. Having a great year. Next up, how exciting was it to watch Snacks? I know you've probably gone back and broken down all 12 snaps, because that's what you do. But 12.
He had 12?
12 snaps.
I didn't even realize he had 12.
6 against the run, 6 against the pass. The snaps against the run were definitely more dynamic. But I'm just so excited. I'm excited for the fact that he was in the building on a Wednesday, played a game on Sunday, and now has, 2 weeks to acclimate, get ready, and be a major part of the defense rather than just kind of thrown in there. I'm telling you, man, his ability to reset the line of scrimmage is just, we haven't seen it in Green Bay in a long time. And he is going to make Kenny Clark's life easier. He is going to, if for no other reason, then Kenny Clark doesn't have to play 85% of the snaps. If for no other reason. But, I'm so excited. And we're going to see more and more of it. They're going to play 3 more games. He's going to be part of them winning the Lombardi Trophy. I am excited about it.
You know who the most excited person is, though, about Snacks?
Who's
Let's
that?
just be honest, okay?
Oh, no.
One Brian Gutekunst, okay? He is the most
He's
excited.
Been trying,
the man
man.
has been trying to get Snacks to Green Bay.
On the roster forever.
It feels like a decade, and he hasn't even been here a decade.
Nope.
It just feels like, Snacks is coming. No, he's not. Snacks. And then all of a sudden he gets him. No. He gets him on the waiver wire, which is just crazy to me. Like
the whole thing in Seattle is weird because he literally had a visit with Seattle, and then he had a visit lined up with Green Bay after his visit with Seattle, but he chose to sign with Seattle, but then asked to be released because he wasn't playing enough. Didn't you talk with Seattle about how much you were going to play when you had the meeting with Seattle? I mean, I don't know. I'm not hating on it because he's here now, but that whole episode is just weird.
He probably, like the rest of the national media, thought that Russell Wilson was going to win the MVP and the Seahawks would be in a better place.
Yeah,
and then he realized,
right, I feel you.
He realized that no,
Wait a
Aaron
second.
Rodgers is going to be the MVP.
I chose the wrong horse. Yeah, I get it.
Yep.
I feel you. All right.
He literally switched horses midstream.
He did.
Think about it.
1,000%. All right, and then we've been talking a lot of praise, a lot of greatness, we're all excited about a lot. But can we just? I gotta pick one hit. I gotta do it, Banky. Gots to do it.
Only one.
Only one. Hey, I think I'm improving. Thank you very much. Here's the thing. All right, if it's 3rd and 3, don't play 7 yards off.
Yes.
If you're a corner. That's just me. That's just something I'm into. And what's funny is I asked Mike Pettin about it this afternoon, and you can tell he's been waiting for this question because I asked him, my only question was, is that because, Coach talked about it earlier this week. I said, is that baked into the call, or is that the choice for the defensive back, for the corner? And Mike went on for, I'm not exaggerating, almost like 3-4 minutes in his answer.
Wow.
He was ready for that. I don't know. Speaking of, I said, Coach brought this up unprompted on Monday. Let's roll this clip because this is Coach. I think he was asked a very general question about his defense and how they've been playing better, etc. Coach brought this up unprompted. Roll it.
There's some times where I think we can be a little bit more aggressive and just in terms of our mentality. Some of those 3rd downs, the 4th down conversion yesterday, when 3rd and short, I want us to get up in people's faces and challenge them because I think we got the people that can get that done, especially when you look at our corner situation. I feel like it's as good as anybody in the National Football League. And those guys got to be confident that they can go up there and press people and make it more difficult on the offense. And there's been times where there's one in particular, I think it was like a 3rd and 5 or whatever, we're playing way off, and it's just an easy pitch and catch out there to convert a 1st down. So there's definitely room for improvement, but I think all in all, our defense has been getting better each and every week.
So, it's all well and good, but here's my question. You're the head
So what is it
coach.
though? Wait. But okay, so I get you. So my takeaway from that is that's Coach being mad about it. That's about as mad as
that's about as mad as he's ever going to show
the
us.
media.
Yep.
That's like him basically being like, yeah, I'm mad about it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But I still don't. Here's what I'm confused about. So what did Mike Pettin say? So Mike Pettin said it's on the cornerbacks or it's on the secondary
that's
to
my
decide
thing.
how much to play.
What's so funny is I said on Daily I was going to ask Coach about it, and someone in the chat was like, he's going to say it's situational and punt, which is exactly what he did. It was like, it really depends on the opponent and the situation we're in, and the guys have the green light to do it on occasion, but it really depends on what coverage it is, and we don't want to always play the same type of coverage because then teams are going to take advantage of it, which is all well and good and very true, and I get that. But at the same time, what is your identity? It sounds like LaFleur is talking about wanting a more aggressive identity. Corey, you sat next to me all Sunday afternoon. I'm always talking, dictate to the offense. It feels like the defense under Pettin is always content to let the offense dictate and react to it, which is, hey, you can't argue with the results, right? They've won a lot of games now, and they've held opponents to, 16, 13, 16, whatever, for a number of weeks. So clearly it's working. Andy Herman had the great analogy of the Bears on offense trying to paper cut the Packers to death. To me, the saving grace for this defense right now is the improvement in the red zone. Because last year they were excellent in the red zone. At the beginning of the season, they were pretty bad in the red zone, and they've really improved as the year goes on. The second half of the year especially, that has really improved. So it's all well and good if you want to paper cut the Packers to death down the field, but you better deliver in the red zone because you're not going to win against Aaron Rodgers in this offense kicking field goals. So I get it's frustrating in the moment. I get out of hand. I understand. It seems like a disconnect, though. If the head coach is saying, I want them to be aggressive and up at the line of scrimmage, and I know we got the guys that can do it. And that's the other thing. I think Kevin can do it. I think Kevin's a great press guy. Have him go press. I don't know. That's just me.
I mean, in Madden, don't you just press the down button in Madden when you want to do press coverage? So can't Pettin make it as part of his call?
Can't Pettin just press the down button? Is that what you're saying?
No, like in the headset, he's like, guys, I'm pressing the down button here. Remember, we're 3rd and 3.
Well,
and
I don't know if it's quite
the
that
other thing
easy.
I'm going to say about red zone stops, just want to remind everybody about that Jimmy Graham not getting in.
Oh my God, how beautiful, how gorgeous, how wonderful was that? Especially after all his nonsense
Graham.
this offseason after he signed with the Bears.
I'm
Talking about
going to the best team.
I'm going to a
I'm
team
going to the
that's,
team that's going to
really
the Super
interested
Bowl.
in winning championships. Really? That's adorable. Oh
Jimmy
my
Graham.
God,
Jimmy Graham. You're adorable.
Here's the other part.
You're funny.
I love that everyone the one play everyone remembers from that game when it comes to Jimmy Graham is him not getting in the end zone. That's it. That's the one play. You know why? Because he didn't make any other
Love it.
plays. Wait, Al, I'm sorry. Did you say
Love
something?
it.
Did you say something in my headphone? Oh, okay. Wait, it sounds like we might have a caller. Do we take callers
Oh,
on
we
this
have a
show?
caller? We're taking callers? I
Banky,
didn't realize that.
do we take callers on this show?
Who is
know.
it? Let's do it.
I don't know. I'm not so sure we should. Okay, let's find out who it is. I don't know. Al, why don't you throw it up? See who's joining us right now. Oh, hey!
Oh,
it's
my
Matt
goodness.
LaFleur,
Holy
the head coach of the Green Bay
crap.
Packers. What's going on, buddy?
Whoa, Matt, what's up? Holy crap!
I know. I
I'm
was
waving to you.
waving at you earlier, Corey. You didn't see me.
You've
man.
Are those
I totally
receiver
missed
gloves
it.
you got on?
Yeah, you
Those
like
are
that?
sweet, man.
I'm ready for you.
I love
ready
it.
for you,
Those are
Coach.
sweet. I love it. My kid has that same pair.
I love these.
Okay,
I
Matt,
love it.
I love that you went right to the receiver gloves, because can I tell you something? Corey has been ridiculed many times, but openly once, by members of the Green Bay media for his choice of wearing receiver gloves. So that is why he now wears them every single show.
That's why I wear them.
I
They're a
love
badge
it.
of honor, Coach.
Just to spite the media.
Yeah,
I
that's
need
what-
to start doing more of that.
Oh, so wait. Hey, wait. Were your ears burning? Because we were literally just talking about you. I don't know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, good. Thank God. Well,
Why don't you enlighten me?
okay. Well, since you're here, we were just talking about something you brought up on Monday. Let's just dive. We're going to get right into football, and we'll talk about other stuff in a little bit. But okay, so Monday, it's kind of surreal. You're here right after we just played a video of you. But so on Monday, you unprompted, I might add, you weren't asked about it. You mentioned the soft coverage on 3rd and short, something that has maybe caused some yelling from myself during the games. I don't know. I may have
yelling.
expressed displeasure once or twice, but to hear you bring it up unprompted, I just got to ask this, because this is how I live. It's week 17, Coach. What? You're talking about wanting them to be aggressive and wanting them to be up there in the face of the receivers. Did you talk to Mike about this, say, back in August, or what's going on?
No, we do everything retroactively. So,
Okay, that sounds good.
no, yeah, it's something that we're always talking about. But, certainly, especially with, I think you really got to stress situational ball to your guys and understanding, what the offense is trying to do in a 3rd down and short or whatever the situation may be. They're just trying to move the sticks. And the more we get up in their face and challenge those guys, it just makes life harder on them. So there's definitely things that we can do with our calls to help our guys out and just take. I always think from a coaching perspective, you've got to eliminate the gray for your players. And if you call a certain call on 1st and 10 versus, let's say it's 2nd and 20 or 3rd and 3, how you play that call has to be different. And so there are words that you can put in there to just help eliminate some of that thought process for your guys.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. You're singing Corey's song right there.
I love it. Situational football. Hey, because Coach surprised us, and thank you, Coach, for doing this. I just want to say congratulations on being the best team in the NFC. We are all very proud of everything you've been doing, and I know you probably don't hear that a lot because you have to deal with people like Nagler and the media too much, but it's greatly appreciated around Green Bay, so it's pretty amazing.
Well, I appreciate that, Corey, but as we all know, I mean, that only got us to this point, and there's a lot more out there in front of us, and I'm certain that, again, I've said it a million times, but it is the truth. Only one team's happy at the end of the year, unless you're that team that's standing up there on that stage hoisting that trophy, then then it's all for naught.
All right, let's since Corey brought it up, let's talk some shit about the media. Okay, now here's my question.
Can I swear on here too, or is Waller's going to slap me on the wrist?
Sir, you are not under Green Bay Packers protocol right now. You are in CheeseheadTV. You are free to say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, this is only on YouTube.
Whatever the fuck you want. So here's my question.
Well, my wife would smack me though. I don't know if I want that.
Yeah. Fair enough. Hey, man, we all got to live by a code. I get you. All right, so here's the thing. When you get on the Zoom thing, wait, where are you right now? Are you in your office? Because this is where you do your – okay, this is your Monday Zoom look, so I assume that's your office, right?
I like it.
So when you set up and you do your Zoom and Sarah says, okay, next up is next up we have so-and-so, how many of them are there? I don't need names, but how many of them are there where you're internally going, oh, shit?
Just one.
Okay.
I know exactly who that one is.
There you go. There it is. All right. I left that one wide open.
I wish I could have a beer at work. That'd be a hell of a deal.
It's not bad, right? It's not bad. You should come to the back. Hey, when you've retired and you got a bunch of rings, you can come be an analyst for CheeseheadTV. You can drink beer as much as you want.
I'd love to.
There you go. Game on.
I'm drinking Gatorade, FYI, so I'm in the spirit of the Green Bay Packers.
I am not.
Coach, so I found out this stat that I was actually like blown away by because, Aaron and I grew up with 90s Brett Favre football, and Brett Favre was like really good at getting it to like every receiver on the team that you never heard of. And I saw this stat that you had 11 receivers catch a touchdown this season, which is a record. And I just wanted to ask you, what do you attribute to about your offense that makes it so that multiple guys get the ball?
Well, I just think for the most part, a lot of our concepts are pure progressions where you start on one side of the field and you work it all the way across. And, if the pocket allows you and if our quarterback does a great job, which he has all year long, of progressing through and it's as – I don't want to make it sound as simple as throwing to the open guy, but because it's never that simple, right? I mean, there's a lot that goes on and that goes into it, but just, following that progression and trying to read it as true as you can within the timing of the play. And, we're thankful that, number one, we have a great offensive line, and I think it's pretty evident throughout the course of the season. No matter who's been in there, they've done a great job. And then just Aaron's it's playing at MVP level, and there's nobody playing better than him. And just his ability to progress through is what kind of allows things like that to happen.
Speaking of your quarterback, he brought up an interesting subject yesterday on the Pat McAfee program. I don't know if you're familiar or if you tune in. I'm sure you're an ardent supporter of Pat McAfee and everything he does. But he was talking about bringing the play clock down to 0. And he kind of broke the news. I wasn't aware of this. I love this image, though, that Boyle is kind of the get-back man when it comes to you wanting to call a timeout when he's taking it close to 0. And Boyle's the one going, no, let him go. He's got it. First of all, has Tim Boyle ever missed it? Like, has Boyle ever said, no, he's got it, and then you get a delay a game?
That may or may not have happened. I think that was a flair for the dramatic right there.
Oh,
it's never quite
right.
like that.
A bit embellished?
But earlier in the season, if you remember right, we were playing Detroit, and I called a timeout, and they were in a cover 0 situation, and Aaron, I
he was
still
a little
don't
hot.
know how Oh yeah, a little hot. I still don't know how he was able to get the communication out in such a short period of time, as well as getting the ball snapped. It was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. So since that time, I was like, you know what? I gotta trust this guy's gonna get it done. And again, he did it, the other night versus Chicago, and just it was pretty remarkable just how fast he thinks and how fast he can communicate in order to get that out, and then to beat the blitz with the throw on a vertical route. I mean, it's pretty special.
I mean, it's nothing I haven't done in Madden, but yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, when you don't have a 290 pounders trying to, break in too.
Matt, you don't know my setup is. You don't know what VR I'm in. I understand that it's tough. But we're talking to Matt LaFleur, the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, in case anybody needs to reset here. Matt, you're an absolute legend for taking a few minutes with us. How are you going to be watching the games this weekend? I know, you aren't going to be breaking it down with an eye of a coach, probably, but is it impossible not to at some points? Like, you're watching the game and you just start thinking, oh gosh, if they run this coverage, we're going to have to do that, or are you able to detach yourself that way?
No, I think you watch it a little bit differently if you know that you have a potential of playing somebody, because there's some things that happen that you don't always see on the coach's tape, whether it's how people react in certain situations. And so you try to take note of everything, especially when you know that you're going to be playing one of these teams this weekend.
No doubt about it. Is there anybody you're hoping to see? I know you can't answer that. Don't worry about it. I'm just kidding.
I absolutely cannot answer that.
But that suggests there is somebody.
I'm not going to. That's bulletin board material.
Don't worry.
I'm sure
Coach, nobody watches this show. Come on.
Nobody watches.
It's all right.
It's fine.
No, I'm kidding.
My wife's trying to call in right now, I think.
Oh, no. Well, tell her we say hi. We'll let you go. You're a very busy man, and you're an absolute legend for taking even a few minutes with us. Matt LaFleur. Corey, you got anything else for Coach before we let him go?
No, Coach.
Man,
good luck.
Good
luck.
Wow, I don't know. You're saying you got to go. You can hang out if you want.
You got things to do.
You're a busy man, you know?
I thought
you got
you'd
rings
have a
to
little
get.
more fastballs for me.
Oh, Coach, you want the heat? I'll bring you the heat. I mean, I got no problem. I will say this, though. I will say, you have a much better temperament than your predecessor when it comes to questions that maybe some people might deem, I don't know, aggressive, less than complimentary. So I appreciate that. I will say that. Like, the fact that I can ask you about things that maybe didn't go so well in the previous game, you have never, ever, not even once, raised your voice or is that practiced? Is that something you were ready for? You knew one day I'm going to be a head coach and I got to be able to be even keeled? Because I have no idea how you do it. Because I would tell me to fuck off
neither do
multiple times.
I'm glad you said it.
I'm just saying. I know I can be an asshole, but I only say what's out there, man. I'm always talking about what I see. I'm not lying. That's the other. I think you'd say I'm fair, though. Come on. It's fair.
I think so. Absolutely. Right. Actually, this media market has been more than fair, I would say.
There you go. See, I love how he won't expound on that. He'll just leave it there. That's good. No, I like that. That's good. All right, we'll let you get
a few words.
We'll let you get out of here. Yeah, great. That makes for compelling content. Let me tell you, Coach. No, I'm kidding. Thank you so much. Thanks for taking
Coach, good luck.
A few minutes.
Good luck. Let's make it happen. Let's bring it home.
You all take care. Enjoy that beer.
Always. I'm telling you.
What are you drinking there?
Oh, what am I? It's a New York beer. Here, I got a can right here. It's the Five Boroughs Brewing. It's their Pilsner. I got to keep it light for the show, after the.
Yeah, he's got to keep that ABV down, otherwise he gets a little crazy.
When I get home, Corey literally started reprimanding me because we do watch parties where we watch the game and people watch us watch the game. I know that sounds insane, but they do. And earlier,
how many people watch the game?
Last game it was 20,000, 20,000 total. A little over 20,000. It was a little nuts. But it was a big game, end of the year. But the beginning of the year, you guys are scoring all these points and everything's great. By the third, fourth quarter, I'm just gone. So it was like I want to say like week 3 or 4. Corey was like, "All right, Aaron, you need to like dial it down earlier in the game. You got to mix in some water. So like by the 4th quarter, you're not completely just lost." So
Isn't there water and beer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's all
That's
about
what I-
that's what I
all
said.
about the it's the ABV content. You just got to keep it down, As long as you keep it down, it's okay.
Wait, Coach. So there's all this, obviously, big thing. Obviously, the entire narrative of this season is about COVID, and we didn't want to ask you about it, and I'm not going to ask you about it now. But I will say, when COVID is under control, because I'm not going to say it's over, because who knows when it's over, but say next year down the line, when it is under control and we're in a different environment than we are now, we have got to get you over to Corey's house to do one of these. Like, I don't care if it's like during the season, I don't care if it's preseason, the summer, like OTAs, whatever. We got to get you over to Corey's house.
Summer's the best time, as long as you have an ice cold beer for me.
Oh, of course. That's why.
Oh, definitely.
That's
you have
what
your choice.
You got to check
choice
out
of over
You
80 beers.
guys would probably want me those high alcoholic beers so I could really get
Yeah,
loose.
definitely.
So you get going. Well,
Definitely.
we'll give you those
Yeah,
off.
yeah, definitely.
Once we stop rolling, we would never put you in a
Gotcha.
bad situation. You know what they say, Coach? You want to put your players in a position to succeed. We want to put you in a position to succeed, Coach. That's what we're all
I
about.
appreciate that, guys.
No problem. So that'll happen hopefully next year sometime. Matt, truly, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time with us today. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
And
you guys be good. I appreciate your support.
hey, that's why we're here, man. And go kick whoever's ass in 2 weeks.
That's
Please.
the plan.
All right. Matt LaFleur,
All right.
head coach of the Green Bay Packers, joining us here on Cheesehead TV. Matt, thank you so much. Have a great night, buddy.
See you guys.
Matt LaFleur is awesome.
All right, take care.
Well, there you go. Matt LaFleur joining us on Cheesehead TV. Corey?
He got to see his Matt
his-
LaFleur is
he got to
awesome
see his
animation
stinger.
and laughed at it. That was great. I loved it. He's great. He's
Dude.
amazing.
That guy's the best.
How is he who he is? It's just like he's
I know,
incredible.
right?
I mean, I'm
so
such
great.
a fanboy of the guy. He's an incredible coach. He's got an incredible demeanor. He handles people in such like
perfectly.
I don't know. He doesn't give you stock answers. We actually said, we were like, hey, coach is probably going to give us the answer. He's probably going to say this is situational football. But then he gives this like enlightening answer about it where I was like, that wasn't stock at all. And that's even this season, like watching press conferences after has been really fun because you just see what the media is. The media is getting gold out of this guy,
Gold.
like all the time. It's completely different than it used to be.
That was kind of my point. All right, Corey, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
This week in the Packer blogosphere.
That's right. It's this week in the Packer blogosphere, the return of that venerable series. Corey Banke appearing on not one but 2 programs this week. Corey, what is the world coming to? My goodness. This week, you own the Packer blogosphere.
I think they ran out of people to ask, so they finally asked me to do stuff. I don't know what's going on. They couldn't get you, so they were like, I can't get Nagler.
No,
so,
that's not true. That's not true.
No,
So where
it was
were you?
funny,
What did you appear on? What was going on?
BJ and the Bear this morning at
Nice.
7:17, very early. But you know what? It
Very
allowed
early.
me to look. It allowed me to look at this morning at what can only be Mordor over Lambeau. It was cool, amazing. And it just got me going all morning. It was so great. Those guys were great. They were fun. They want to have me on again, so we'll see.
Nice. Awesome.
It's very early. They made this funny joke where they were like, yeah, we used to. BJ was like, yeah, I used to like give Waller. I used to like always email Wallers and ask him to get an interview. And apparently, I don't know if it was Wallers or someone in PR.
Right.
And then eventually, someone was like, you know that no player is going to get up between 7 and 8 in the morning, right?
Exactly.
To be on your
Like
show.
never in a million
It's
years.
funny. It was so funny. But, yeah, no, some people actually listened to it, hit me up on Twitter. That was pretty awesome. It was fun. And then Cheeseheads BR, Brazil.
Nice.
That was actually really fun. I did 2 hours with those guys. And Tulio, who actually gave us a super chat, he was on there. There were some people that I've seen on here on there. Those guys were a lot of fun. Really great questions. Luckily, I wasn't an idiot and I could answer most of them. And
I'll go back and watch to make sure.
That,
but yeah, okay.
I admitted the fact that I didn't know who Dominic Daphne was until Sunday, and things like that.
I think most Packer fans are with you on that one, though. I think that's
it's okay. I'm okay being. I still can't get over though. Coach, I don't think I can ever take these gloves off. You realize this, right? Let's just stop for a second.
That was pretty great.
Did Coach just say he likes the
legit
gloves?
called out
he
your
thought he was
receiver gloves. Immediately.
Here's the thing. I feel like he thought he was digging me because his son wears them, but I'm actually even more proud that his kids wear these. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm down. But he was like, are those receiver gloves? That was amazing. Coach is amazing.
That was great.
I'm sorry. I know we're talking about me, but I want to talk about Coach. Yeah, he's amazing.
It was great. It was great. The other aspect of the Packer blogosphere,
are people surprised on the chat? By the way, I'm not even looking at the chat right now. Were people surprised?
After you let it out on the happy hour the Patreon happy hour last night.
But I didn't let it out.
You totally told everybody he was coming on, and so then I was like, okay, and then I got lit.
No, but I didn't though. I just said
you
totally
did, Banky, and then I got lit and went on Instagram, and at that point I was like, fuck it, and then I was like, yeah, Coach is coming on tomorrow. So I think some people knew, but I think most people in the chat didn't know, so it was fun. It's good times.
I think it's cool that he was able to see the return. That's what I love the most, because he was on Zoom, so he could kind of see us and not just talk to random dudes on a phone.
He legit saw your receiver gloves. That's why I said to Wallers, we got to have him on Zoom.
And he said he waved to me and I
know,
missed him.
And you missed him.
I'm so upset. We need to have a bat signal for Coach, where he can bat signal me, and he can say bye. I'm leaving. Bye, Coach.
See, what's so funny is that is absolutely 1,000% possible. He could literally flip a switch and have a light that hits just at the right spot, so Coach is saying hi.
You're leaving.
We got to talk to Wallers about that. We got to make that happen.
Got to make that happen.
So the Packer blogosphere, as it were, I'm not going to go crazy on this, but I do find it interesting that we got not one, but 2 articles this week over at Packers Wire and Acme Packing Company regarding the selection of one Jordan Love in the NFL draft this past spring. And, both of them now suddenly saying it was a good selection. It was the right choice. It was a good thing to do. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, whatever. I will say, here at CheeseheadTV, our stance remains the same. We don't know.
It's premature.
We got to let it play out. Nobody knows if it was good or bad. Yes, maybe our thinking can change in regards to, here are the circumstances, and now, oh my God, they're 13-3, they're the number 1 seed, and okay, maybe it makes sense to look to the future and blah blah blah. I get that, but we can't say anything now that we couldn't say then in regards to whether it was the right move or a good move. We just got to let it play out, and I don't understand why that's so difficult for people.
Well, and I'm not even going to say the person who wrote the article. The other thing, I think people are going to like this, dude. Do you know who Laravied Cheesehead Brazil?
Oh, no.
Cheesehead Brazil fans, guess who Laravied them?
Oh, no.
You'll love this.
Who?
Bukowski.
What?
Apparently, Bukowski completely ghosted them. He said he'd come on their show, and then he ghosted them. So
wait,
I'm just going to put
didn't
that
he say
out there.
on it, though? I swear I saw him tweet that, I was on that show. They're great. Wait, he didn't even show.
They told me he ghosted. Yeah, they told me he ghosted.
Wait, hold on.
They told me
hold on. Peter Bukowski.
That's what they told me. I didn't
Laravied Cheesehead Brazil? That's what you're telling me?
Yes. Yes.
What the fuck is this world coming to? What?
Oh, yeah.
Peter!
Anyway.
I don't know what's going on here. Finally, talking about pieces around the internet about the Packers, something you guys got to check out if you haven't already. Ted Nguyen over at The Athletic wrote a phenomenal piece about Aaron Rodgers and the Packers offense. I highly encourage anyone who cares about the Packers and how they're playing on the offensive side of the ball to check this piece out. Absolutely outstanding. A really good point that he makes, kind of the thesis of the post, is, you look at guys like McVay, Shanahan having to cover up for guys like Goff or Garoppolo, etc. Matt LaFleur, good friend of CheeseheadTV apparently, is living his best life with Aaron Rodgers, and that's not a sense of, Aaron is doing it all, but this offense is being taken to levels we haven't seen yet because of the fact that Aaron Rodgers is the one running it. And the possibilities within the offense, it's an outstanding piece. I can't recommend Ted's work enough in general, but this piece specifically, phenomenal job breaking down the offense with GIFs, with pictures, etc. Tons of great writing. Check it out. Seek it out. It's outstanding stuff. All right, Corey. You ready to talk to the fine folks here on the YouTube?
Let's what's going on with the YouTube and the Facebook chat?
I'm going to look at the queue. I'm going to view queue, sir. I'm going to start at the bottom.
Nice.
And we'll go to
nice.
Oh no. I love
the
very first one on Facebook, because of course it came from Facebook, by the way. This could only come from Facebook. Nagler desperately wants to turn this Packers talk into an anti-Trump political tirade in light of today's news. LOL. I didn't bring it up. Not once. You did. Enough said.
But you just brought it up. But it's on Facebook.
It's the Facebook super chat. You said you wanted to.
Okay, but I don't.
Banky, remember weeks ago when I said I don't want to deal with Facebook, and you said no, we got to include Facebook. This is why I don't want to include. It's literally here in the queue.
Why don't we see the graphics on the bottom?
I don't know.
We'll push the queue.
LeVar Ball's ego.
Okay.
I'll remove from queue. How's that? We'll go down. We'll go to Lloyd Dixon. Twitter verified that guy in Pelosi's office. See? Another one. See? There's another one.
Just pass those ones. I don't care about that. I only care about football, people.
I am with you on that.
Like, see that right there? Okay, if you're watching this stream, okay, hold on. Take me wide. There you go. This. Look, if you're watching this fucking stream, okay, the only thing that matters in life is right across the street.
Word.
Okay? Everything you need to know about your life right now is right across the street. Okay? Just focus on that. Don't focus on all the other garbage. Okay, let's move on.
Tulio.
Screw this.
I love you all. Hashtag #GoPackGo from Brazil. That's what I'm talking about. Tulio knows what's up. Next up, I'm just going right to Michael M. Michael M. Should be good for years to come. You have to feel the urgency to win it all is high with potential losses. I get it. Like, as far as like how the roster could shake out down the road, no doubt about it. Oh, I love this. Tulio has another one, by the way. Tulio has another super chat. Any chance we have Goody on Transplants? I'll say this. Gutekunst has been on my podcast. Gutekunst has never come on this show, though. I have requested Gutekunst in the offseason. The timing, the scheduling just hasn't lined up yet. I think it's going to happen. Brian and I have a very good relationship. He's always very nice to me whenever I'm in town. We always have really good chats when I'm in town for like training camp, the offseason, what have you. I think it's going to happen eventually. So, but like I said, he's been on my podcast.
I think he gives some really good answers. Unfortunately, he came from the TED School of Media, where you basically don't ever talk to the media, not one time, not one iota. He definitely talks to them better.
Yes.
I think there's a lot that what has most impressed me about Brian's tenure so far is his focus and his determination to make the team that he has envisioned, and visualized,
1,000%.
And I think what you're seeing from the Green Bay Packers has raw material provided by Brian G and molded by Matt.
Yep.
And it's incredible. It's incredible. And yeah, the stories that Gutekunst has over this season and like just since he's taken over, it's pretty incredible.
Oh, I mean, yes.
I want to hear him.
We will definitely have him on the program at some point. Next up, we got Chad. Chad saying, Snacks pulled a Martellus Bennett with the Seahawks. That's not crazy. That's not too far off the mark. You know, like, I'm going to come help you guys win. Wait a second. I'm not going to play. Okay, I'm out.
Bye.
It's not crazy. But, you know, he was doing it for the good and the great, the Packers. That's what's all that matters. Rimru. Sorry, I didn't get to this question while Coach was with us. What kind of chew does Coach use? Sorry, we'll have to shelve that for the next time Coach is on Transplants. When he's at Corey's house, we'll find out what's going on.
What kind of chew? Because he doesn't chew tobacco, does he? No, he doesn't.
We'll find out. Chad, thanks for the super chat. I'm glad I turned off CNN for this, as Corey was saying earlier. This is all that matters in life. The Packers are the number 1 seed. They're about to march to a Super Bowl and hoist Lombardi. What more do you need? Jocelyn, thank you for the super chat. Does LaFleur get his swag from Rodgers, or is it the other way around? That's controversial question right there. I'm not so sure there, Jocelyn. That again, something to mark down for the next time we talk to Matt. Oh boy, Jake in the box. Corey, it's been pointed out that Nags called McCarthy by his name. And it's true. I called him Mike all the time. And he refers to LaFleur as coach. Armchair psychologist, why do you think that is? Why do you think I called McCarthy Mike, but I call LaFleur coach? This is a good question for you, Corey.
That's a good question. I mean, I think it really comes down to when you joined the beat,
right.
That's what beat reporters were already calling him.
Well, that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that, but that's true. That's true.
So I think, he was called Mike. He was Mike.
Yep.
He was Mike. He was this
Yep.
common thing once you join that bubble, right?
Yep.
You're in the media bubble.
Yep.
And, I do think that, and then you got to kind of know him and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
I would say now it's like, well, we want to be on our best behavior because we are somehow credentialed by the Green Bay Packers and we, want to be respectful. So maybe because you're not with like PackersNews.com and you are instead with CheeseheadTV, you're a little bit more like respectful and you use the coach moniker. That's my story.
Fair. That's all very fair, Corey. That's well done. Justin with a super chat. You were great on Cheesehead Brazil, Corey, dying at emo Nagler thinking, really, dude, when you said go Pack right before his monologue. Wow, so you told that story, huh? You told the story of my freshman year.
Emo. I was like, yeah, Nagler, he likes like Depeche Mode, and he was like all emo, and he was all like introverted, like, hey. And so when I first said it, you were kind of deer in the headlights, like, what should I do now? Oh, no, I need to do my monologue.
Dude. Oh, my God, dude. I could do a whole fucking, hour show about that day. That day.
I know, it's so true.
No question.
Thank you, Justin. I appreciate you. Also, the other thing I appreciated? Coach was so jealous of your beer.
I mean, could it be more obvious?
It's like in Lambeau, they're like, no one can have any alcohol.
I mean,
anyone? He's like, you have a beer.
We got to talk to Mark Murphy about instituting 5 o'clock Fridays or something for Coach. Come on, get Coach a beer for Christ's sake. The man is in charge of our hopes and dreams, and he can't have a fucking beverage, dude. Come on.
He was like, you have a beer.
He was so excited about the beer.
I wanted to be like, Coach, you make so much money doing an amazing job. I'm just like, it was fascinating.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, and Nagler does nothing for nobody, and he's having a beer. So you should have a beer.
Nagler literally works for beer.
Essentially.
Pretty much.
No cap there, as the kids would say. Steve, thanks for the super chat. Coach on Cheesehead TV. Great work, fellas. Coach likes Pappy. We should have asked about Pappy. We should have asked about that. That's a really good. You're talking about Coach salaries. Coach could end the Pappy's fund drive in one fell swoop. But
immediately.
It's all good. It's all good. But thank you.
I'll give Coach
Steve.
some pappy, especially he wins the Super Bowl. I'll pull out the 20-year
hell
pappy. Come on now. Let's go. I can think of no better reason to pull out the 20-year pappy than to drink with a Super Bowl winning coach. I mean,
1,000%. And he'll be at your house, so why not? You want to be a good host.
So there you go.
H. Carrington, thank you for the super chat. From 13-3 and a 2 seed to 13-3 and a 1 seed, sign me up for more of this regression next year. That's a really great point because I was 1,000,000,000% in the camp that said all year long that they would regress as far as you couldn't count on turnovers again. You couldn't count on them being that excellent in the red zone again. Hopefully they got a little better on offense, but their record was most likely regress. They would probably be a better team. But guess what? They're a better team with the same record instead of a better team with a worse record. And I am with you, H. Carrington. I will sign up for that all day long.
So what you're saying is they're not a fraudulent 13-3 team?
Apparently not. I don't know. We're going to have to talk to our friends over there at PFF for the fraudulent moniker.
Yeah, we should ask them. So are they
administered.
So are they less fraudulent or more fraudulent now at 13-3?
I don't know. Apparently
PFF.
now the Chiefs have taken over that moniker, but we'll find out, I'm sure, here in the playoffs.
Sweet.
Aaron Gonzalez, thank you for the super chat. For getting Coach on the show. Go, Pack, go. Bucks beat us without Kevin King, though. Just saying. Fair point. Because
everybody is scared of the Bucks.
I'm
okay,
not.
Here's the thing.
I've said all week I want them. That's the matchup I want.
I know,
That's the matchup I want.
Nagler. Every single person I talk to, from the media or who's whatever, they're just like, oh, I think the Bucks matchup is the scariest.
Oh, God.
And I'm like,
scared of nobody.
Why? Because they won? Tom Brady is a statue.
Tom Brady is 400 years old. Bring him into the fucking cold in Lambeau Field in January. Bring it on.
What did he do against us? Every time he was in trouble, he threw to Gronk. You think he's going to be able to do that consistently against us? No. What are you scared of?
One thing at a time. Let's see who the matchup is first. I hear you, though. I hear you. PacFan39. PacFan39, thank you for the super chat. Gravedigger, Raji, Snacks, best run stuffer? ? Oh, Gravedigger. Come on. Okay, I love me some Raji, and I love Snacks, but Gravedigger was the absolute man. The absolute man. And not only, here's the other thing about Gravedigger that no one really remembers or talks about when they talk about Gravedigger. His name is about a sack celebration or a tackle for loss celebration. So you're always thinking about big plays where it happened behind the line of scrimmage. I get all that. This man could turn and run as a 300-plus pounder back in the day. There's a great fucking play in the Super Bowl where he literally is in the flat covering the running back. This kid, he was so athletic and so big and could not be moved. Not by two humans.
You are going to love this. Okay, so on Cheeseheads Brazil last night, they asked me, I don't know how we got to your 3 favorite players, but basically they were like, name 3 of your name your favorite players. Right. And so somehow I put them in buckets, right? So you're going to appreciate this. So literally my number 1 was obviously Bart Starr. And he didn't play when I was around, but to me, he just encapsulates everything that you know and love about being the Alabama quarterback, being under Lombardi, being the contrast to him, Lombardi taking all the things, the narratives, the history. You can embrace it. You can just hug it. You can just be like, I love it. Okay, so that's number 1, right? So then number 2, I was like, got to be Gilbert Brown. Just got to be, right? Just got to be Gilbert Brown doing, when we were talking to Charlie on the watch party,
right?
And remember we were in Carry the G watch party. We were showing a picture of I think Lori on Twitter, and she was like a little kid, and she was in a costume.
Oh yeah,
she was in one of those
stand-ups. The stand-ups
and
with the cutout
was like
head.
a cutout, like a little cutout of a player. And he was like, oh man, if that was Gilbert Brown, Gilbert Brown was that guy, right? Yep. He's that guy where you're like, yeah, I love Brett Favre, but Gilbert gets me going, I'm going now, right?
So true.
And then the third person, so you'll never believe this. Literally my third favorite Packer, Craig Newsome. And they were like, I was
makes sense.
That makes sense. I was like, you might not know who that is, but I had his T-shirt.
It's not someone I would immediately jump to, but it is very Corey Banke, 1,000%.
Yeah. So anyway, that Gravedigger thing reminded me of it because the Gravedigger, he was that guy. He really was like he electrified Lambeau. Like it's like Lambeau was already hype and there was like tension, and then something would happen and Gravedigger would do the Gravedigger move and Lambeau would just erupt, and it was so.
Don't
great.
forget, and okay, this is the other thing. Remember last year, it was the Chargers game. Z all week had been people had been tweeting him about the Gravedigger. He did the Gravedigger, in Los Angeles. We need Z to do the Gravedigger at Lambeau. Like that needs to happen
with fans.
Yes,
with
next
fans,
year,
hopefully. With fans.
or even this year. I don't care when he does it. He needs to do it in Lambeau, in honor of the Gravedigger. Overshadow Sean, thank you for the super chat. Just getting here. What did I miss? And Pappy. I don't know. We had some dude talking. He coaches the Packers. I don't know. He's just hanging out.
The greatest, just probably the coach of the year.
Should
for
be
the NFL.
Should be. Reed, thank you for the super chat.
Right? He's going to get it. He's got to get it.
I doubt it. Reed, thank you for the super chat.
Come on, don't depress me, Nagler.
Go Pack, go! Keep up the great work, guys. Reed, thank you very much. It's greatly appreciated.
Thanks, Reed.
Chad Saunders, thank you for the super chat. Fun thing I saw recently, pick 2 Packer players from any era, one offense, one defense, to plug into this year's team to help them on their Super Bowl run. I chose Bakhtiari. Why would you do that? And Reggie White. Okay, Banky, what do you think? 2 players, one offense, one defense, from any era.
But Bakhtiari's on their offense.
I know, that's why I said. This is what I'm just reading Chad's super chat. The man paid his money. I'm going to read his chat.
For this offense and defense, I mean, I don't know. Clay Matthews and Chad Clifton.
Ooh, there you go. You see Chad to put it, go in there at left tackle. Look at you being a GM and coach at the same time. It's pretty impressive. I'll go with Desmond Bishop, because I want him to get inside and wreck some shit on defense. And then on the offensive side, I want Desmond Howard so I can have a returner to house it and give us great field position so we don't have to worry about this shit. Those are my 2.
As you know, that's how you win the Super Bowl. You just need a Desmond Howard.
Apparently so. All right. I can't thank everyone enough. Corey, I know you joined me in saying thank you to everybody who joined us here live, including one Mr. Matt LaFleur. I do got to give a shout-out to all of our Patreon members. Every single one of you are amazing. I cannot believe each and every week we're getting more and more support on Patreon. Every week we do the Patreon happy hour. It is so much fun. We had one last night. It's a great time. Let me tell you, you talk about a fun, loose group that just loves the Packers and talking Packers and having a great time. It is so much fun each and every week. Can't thank you guys enough for supporting Cheesehead TV the way you do. But look, I understand in the midst of everything we're going through as a country and as a world right now, some people probably don't have even $5 a month to throw into a Cheesehead TV Patreon. I completely get that. So if you will only do the honor of hitting like on this video, subscribing to the channel, it means the world to us. We love it. It's all Packers all the time. You guys know. We don't do anything else. We don't talk about anything else. It's just the Packers. It's not the NFL. It's not other NFL teams. It's just the Packers. It's what we do each and every day. Corey, you got anything else for the fine folks at home before we get out of here?
No, I was just going to say, if you like talking about special teams for a half hour, join the Patreon happy hour.
I was trying to pump it up, Corey, but now you just maybe some people were like, oh, yeah, I'll check out the Patreon. Ooh, half hour of special teams. But, yes, that is the nerd level we get into. There's a lot of special teams talk. Or there were yesterday. I don't know. There you go.
I mean, to be fair, Nagler is you don't drive the conversation too much.
No.
So you allow people to
It's about whatever people want to talk about.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
That was dominated the discussion.
Corey literally came in and was like, "Can we shut the fuck up about special teams?" Oh my god! That was yesterday's half hour mark. That'll do it for this episode of Packer Transplants. Before we go, I do want to say this: happy birthday to my youngest daughter, Olive. She is 13 today.
Yay, Olive.
I am now
13.
officially the father of 3 teenagers. What the hell? When did that happen? What? Anyway, Olive, I love you. You are the light of the world. You are amazing. Happy 13th birthday. I love you very much. That'll do it for this episode of Packer Transplants. We'd like to thank each and every one of you who showed up today, including the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur. Thank you so much for joining us. Look, Cheesehead TV, we love that you guys make us a part of your daily Packers routine, whether it's joining me on daily, whether it's here every week with Transplants, whether it's the watch party, any of the content we put out on the website, any of the podcasts. We cannot thank you enough. We are and will always be devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide.
And I think there may be a misnomer among yourselves and the others at Cheesehead TV. Is that right?
That is correct.
That maybe if the 2nd and 10 is called and it's a run pass, and I'm going to choose to pass out of spite for the.
Not spite. I didn't say spite. Come on now.
Okay.